Is it okay as a Christian to have doubts about my faith? That's today's question on Real Questions Real Quick. I'm Pastor Greg with Westside Bible Church, a fellowship that meets on the Arizona Christian University campus. So is it okay as a Christian to have doubts about our faith? Well, yeah, it's also human. Did you realize that even John the Baptist, the one who proclaimed and prepared the way for Jesus' ministry, that he doubted? In Matthew 11, we find him in prison, and he's been there probably for over a year, and his faith is struggling. And he sends a message to Jesus asking something like, are you the one who is to come, or should we expect somebody else? So we see him really struggling. And I love Jesus' response. He doesn't rebuke John for doubting or scold him for having weak faith, but rather tells the messengers to go back and report to John what they hear and what they see. That the blind men receive sight and the lame walk, the leopards are cleansed and the deaf hear, the dead are raised up and the poor have the gospel preached to them. And then Jesus ends with the blessing. Blessed is he who does not take offense at me. My point is, there is no sin in having questions or doubts. It's normal. And God is not offended or angered or frustrated if you have uncertainties or questions. As a matter of fact, I think he welcomes them. In Isaiah 1:18, God invites Israel, come, let us reason together. But you see, what happens a lot is people have a crisis of faith, and they just throw their hands up in resignation and renunciation. That is not good. Let me share a verse with you from John 16:13. Jesus says, but when he, the Spirit of truth, comes, he will guide you into all truth. If you have doubts, misgivings, feel confused, God doesn't say it's sin or wrong, but rather invites you to ask him about it. And he promises that the Spirit of truth will guide you into all truth. Don't hide from your doubts. Seek the answers and he will lead you. James 1:5 says, if you need wisdom, ask our generous God, and he will give it to you, and he will not rebuke you for asking. He wants to address your question. He wants to explain himself. He wants to be known to you and his ways. He wants to give you a sense of understanding and confidence. That's not to say that you might not wrestle with it for a bit, but I think God intends it to be that way. Why? Do you remember when Jacob was there by the river Jabbok? It says that the angel of the Lord appeared to him that night, and they wrestled until dawn. And Jacob wrestled with the Lord, as you might be wrestling with him right now. But when his eyes were finally opened, he got up from that encounter a changed man. Literally, he walked different. That encounter transformed his walk. And when you wrestle with the Lord with your questions and doubts, you too will leave that encounter a transformed person. Your walk will be changed. Hit the follow button if you're not following us yet, the like button if you enjoyed this content, and maybe share it with a friend who might be struggling. And so we'll see you at the next Real Questions Real Quick.